This is what we'll do. If we see more of a live feed, we're going to go right back there to it, especially if he gets out there on that field. Those pool cameras, as long as they give us a live feed, we're definitely going to take that. That'd be quite the moment out there in the stadium as the Yankees were shaking the president's hand. Of course, the president from Queens, New York, back there in his old stomping grounds on a very difficult day. I know it is. Thank you guys for watching on Rumble right now, the great conservative site Rumble. All right, let's go to a couple sponsors as we have some more coverage here right now at 6:43. Let's go to callsheet.com/RSBN. Of course, there's a number of ways that you can check out Callsheet. You can go to the QR code. You can download the app. You can go to callsheet.com/RSBN. Always good to be able to check out a number of polls there when it comes to all sorts of topics: science, technology, sports, weather, faith, politics, really a lot of things. Callsheet.com/RSBN, more than a million users right there. Let's go from Callsheet to Spring, Texas for angelpaste.com. Angelpaste.com, use that RSBN promo code. You'll get a discount off of the main product there, the Miracle Cream, and other products as well. Great gift. And also, they hire military veterans. Great sponsor right there, angelpaste.com. Use that RSBN promo code. It's 6:44 Thursday, September 11th. It's been quite the 24/7 news cycle, needless to say. Let's start with this. We know we're going to get to a lot of information and more interviews coming up and more videos, but let's go right now to this morning, the Pentagon, where President Trump spoke. This is a shorter clip. We're going to go to a portion of the president's speech outside the Pentagon from this morning, followed by taps outside the Pentagon. And also on top of that, again, as soon as we see any kind of live feed there from New York, we'll definitely return to it, even if it's in the middle of one of these videos, most likely not taps though. So let's go to the Pentagon from earlier today.
In the quarter of a century since those acts of mass murder, 9/11 family members have felt the weight of missed birthdays and empty bedrooms, journals left unfinished and dreams left unfulfilled. To every member that still feels a void every day of your lives, the First Lady and I unite with you in sorrow. And today, as one nation, we renew our sacred vow that we will never forget September 11th, 2001.
Very difficult times and difficult song to hear taps there outside the Pentagon. As we await any more footage from New York, let's go now to conservative analyst and author T.S. Dixon, who actually just released a book titled The Woke Mind Viruses. First, your thoughts on the passing of a great American leader for freedom, Charlie Kirk, and then what are those mind viruses that you refer to in your book, sir?
Yeah, well, Matt, I think I speak for all conservative Americans and many Americans when I say that this tragic shooting and death of Charlie Kirk yesterday caught us completely by surprise and gutted a nation. I know I and all those I've spoken to had this news hit us like as if we were hit by a truck. So my heart goes out to Charlie's family, his young wife, his two kids, and this is an utter tragedy. And I think it's an important moment for the movement that Charlie represented of Christianity and conservatism in the Western world and predominantly in America. And I think that we should honor his memory by taking up that cause and being motivated to go forward, not to back down, not to be afraid, but to take it to the next level. Absolutely.
Exactly. And Christina, Bob was just on the broadcast saying there's going to be thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions more of Charlie Kirk out there for the cause of freedom. And then when we look at this situation, this violent act, and when it comes down to the woke mind viruses, how do you connect any of that?
The woke mind viruses want to kill and destroy America and every other independent, sovereign Western nation. They're run by globalists who want a homogenized globe that they control. And so in order to do that, they have to destroy nations, nation states. And they have to destroy patriots who want to preserve and strengthen and prosper those nation states, like the USA and like what Charlie Kirk was fighting for. And so they have their foot soldiers of Antifa and other groups, the modern woke. And, we see how Antifa and trans ideology, apparently it's reported by CBS and others, by Crowder, that these were carved into the bullets, indicating some of the motive of this shooter. And we've seen this time and time again with these school shootings, the doxing of conservatives, these violent, aggressive acts and murders and assassinations of conservatives that cannot be allowed to stand. It's open season on patriotic Americans, and it's out of control. We can't accept this. And so something must be done, and there must be real consequences for anybody that would commit a crime against another American, but especially these political crimes. There have got to be consequences. They can't be protected by the left and sheltered and given cashless bail and whatnot. I mean, we see all of this violence. Something has to be done about it.
Exactly. The Utah governor yesterday saying it was a political assassination. We know that to be true. We're still reeling from we still have the pain from yesterday. I don't know when that's going to lift, but it's just a difficult time. So the question is, so outside of things like the National Guard, outside of the cashless bail, I mean, is it the, arresting the deep state when there's evidence for things that they've done wrong? Is it also the indoctrination that we're seeing with the woke mind viruses that you're talking about? Can you break down? There's a number of the woke mind viruses. Can you talk to us about that? Let's get inside the mind of, unfortunately, I don't even want to go there, but this is what we're dealing with, isn't it?
The mind of this kind of act, yes, absolutely. The psychology of this act. Well, I put this book out in January, and it explains it all. It's called The Woke Mind Viruses. And it gives the ideology, the core belief system, the background, the history, the founding fathers, the tactics of the four groups that have infected and are plaguing America and the Western world, which is wokeism, liberalism, leftism, and globalism. And this is the fight we're up against, people. These are the people that are at war with us. And if we are going to preserve our country and win, then we have to understand who and what we're up against. And we have to take proper legal constitutional countermeasures. And that's what Charlie Kirk was all about. That's the fight he was engaged in, the fight that took his life, the fight that he surrendered and sacrificed himself for. And so what else can we do? Well, at the end of that book, I call for an omnibus-style reform bill in Congress to, like they put all of the spending into one bill, we should put all of our anti-corruption, modern American reform packages together into one beautiful bill, but a beautiful bill to reform this country. And you know what? In honor of Charlie Kirk, I say we call it the Charlie Kirk Act. And I would call right now on your show to MTG and other members of Congress to sponsor that bill. And I outline in the end of my book the freedom agenda, an anti-corruption agenda, which is what the conservative movement, the Tea Party, the MAGA movement is all about. And I think we should seize on this moment to honor Charlie's legacy and promote massive institutional reform once and for all in this country through Congress and to the White House, to the Oval Office, to President Trump's desk to sign our reforms into law. And I think that would be the greatest way to honor Charlie's sacrifice and to remember him. And I think we should call it the Charlie Kirk Act.
I think that sounds great. And what are some of the reforms you're referring to?
Well, Charlie started off advocating on college campuses when he was 18 years old for lower taxes and conservative values and policies. And so that's what it is. It attacks the financial corruption. There's financial reforms in there. It reforms the banking system. It reforms our central banking system, which is out of control. We see that going on right now, where they're sabotaging our economy and going head to head with Trump right now. Some of the tariff enforcement is in there. Greater penalties for blackmailing or bribing elected members or members of the government with serious penalties, reforming our spy agencies, and the reforms go on and on. I outlined 33 major institutional reforms to fix this broken country that I think every conservative, libertarian, moderate American, and even moderate liberal could get behind and support. These are not highly partisan, divisive issues. These are these address the corruption to our systems, where people are taking advantage of America, stealing from Americans, and committing rampant crime through the vehicle of our institutions. And something's got to be done about it.
I agree with you 100% on that. Last question to you then. So we see that President Trump on the campaign trail said dismantling the deep state, obliterating the globalists. He said that. I remember being at a CPAC event where he said that. You've heard that speech. What does that look like? If you can, under a minute, if you can, what does that look like?
So Trump is taking great strides to withdraw the United States in many ways from many globalist international NGOs like the World Health Organization, UNESCO, the Paris Climate Treaty, the World Economic Forum. He's reduced some of our contributions to NATO and the UN. And so these are the proto-globalist world government organizations. And so he's been actually very good on overt globalist participation and funding. He's been doing a great job there. As far as the deep state goes, the deep state is highly represented by both our administrative state and our intelligence agencies, which have been highly corrupt from their foundation. They came from Wall Street bankers that formed our first spy agencies from the National Security Act, and they've been doing highly suspect, illegal, and corrupt activities ever since, with complete immunity, because they can classify any of their activities or any of the records, and they can come in and take care of any of the evidence. And so they have a license to commit unlimited crime, and it has been a cancer and a tragedy for our country. And so we saw how they went after him. The greatest thing that Trump can do is have to make sure he has proper, loyal, dedicated leadership over those agencies, and then to begin to purge them at the leadership level and punish and do investigations, punish those that have committed crimes, and reform those agencies and or dissolve them. In some ways, we've seen that done really well. With RFK and Tulsi Gabbard and others, it's stalled out, like you see with Kash Patel and the FBI, or with the CIA. You see it really stalling out. These are highly entrenched, powerful groups. I'd say even with the DOJ, I'd say Trump probably has about 35% control of the DOJ, probably about 15% control of the FBI, and about 5% control of the CIA. And he needs to get total control, just like he did with the Republican Party the second time around.
Finally, you're saying, though, the evidence and receipts of, let's look at the Russia hoax, that kind of thing. Those people that are involved in that, if there's evidence of wrongdoing and crime, seditious conspiracy, right?
Seditious conspiracy, which after we brought this up on this show and others were talking about it, they are now investigating the Crossfire Hurricane members like Comey and Brennan and others for their role in that conspiracy. And they are going after them for seditious conspiracy, which does not have a statute of limitations, to my knowledge, whereas their other supposed process crimes were already expired. And so, yes, they are going after them. They have grand juries open. They have announced the investigations. And so perhaps if the grand juries indict them, we'll see some arrests and we'll get some justice there. But like previous visits to your show, I did bring up that bingo card of at least 20 major government crimes that we've witnessed through the media. We know about them, and there's only one of those 20 where there's announced open investigations. Now, there is a task force with Ed Martin that is highly active right now, opening more investigations and convening more grand juries. That's very promising. So I hope that that continues. But that's right now, we need those legal reforms, but we also need legislative reforms. And right now, such an opportunity with the energy and the momentum to honor the death of Charlie Kirk, to get this done, to bring this to Congress and get this done in honor of Charlie. You could see the open disdain of the people on TikTok and other channels making fun of him or celebrating his death. It's disgusting. Or the shouting in Congress when Boebert wanted to say a prayer for Charlie and his family. You know, we have a heartbroken nation, and we need to honor this man and this young man and his family and what he stood for and what they lost and what he sacrificed. And I call right now on MTG or other members of Congress to look into this matter and to take up this bill to bring massive sweeping institutional legislation reform to our country in honor of Charlie.
Conservative analyst and author T.S. Dixon, thank you again for joining us. I agree with you 100%. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, as we await President Trump, it's about the top of the hour, 7 o'clock. We see him right there in New York at the Yankees game. Looking forward to seeing maybe the national anthem and the chants of USA. Director, do we have any audio from New York? Okay, why don't we take it live there to New York for right now?
The Bronx as the Yankees and Tigers face off one more time under the bright lights of the Boogie Down. Rookie Cage Schlichter takes the ball, looking to lock up a Game 3 victory in the homestand finale. It's the Yankees. It's the Tigers.
To your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen, you rise and remove your caps. Please direct your attention to the area behind second base. Presenting tonight's colors, Port Authority Police Department Color Guard. Now, please direct your attention to the microphone behind home plate. And welcome FDNY firefighter Regina Wilson of the FDNY Ceremonial Unit.
Share your Yankee experience and show off your Yankees pride by using the hashtag RSBN on your Instagram and X posts. Then stay tuned for a chance to see your social media photo featured on the center field video board. Remember, use the hashtag RSBN. And you have a chance to make an impact and win big by participating in the Yankees 50-50 raffle. Benefiting the New York Yankees Foundation. Be on the lookout for sellers around the stadium with blue vests. Stop by one of the 50-50 raffle kiosks on the complex or purchase tickets online by scanning the QR code on the video board now. Visit Yankees.com/5050 for more information and official rules.
Nicholas